I'm Zachary Cartwright. This is Water in Food.
Active ingredients are known to be sensitive to temperature and humidity. Predictive stability is very useful to anticipate the loss of active ingredient in the formulation over time. A conventional stability study takes between 3-5 years. It's a big benefit for our company on time and on money. Practice makes perfect.
Today, I'm joined by Fabienne Latournel-Perrot, a French research and development team manager at Arkopharma Laboratories. In this special episode, we are stepping out of water and food to learn about water in pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals and how moisture sorption isotherms are being applied to these industries. Let's see what insights Fabienne has for us. So, hi Fabienne, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me on.
Of course. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and where you're from?
Yes, I grew up in the southwest of France, and I've always been interested in science and technology. I graduated in oceanography, and I got the opportunity to work in a marine research center in Brittany. So it's located in northwest of France. I worked as a laboratory technician in the environmental department over 3 years. I carried out the chemical analysis of the seawater samples picked up along the French coast during oceanographic campaigns. The purpose was to assess the effect of human activities on the marine environment. It was really a great experience. At the end of my employment contract, I decided to study food science at university. This saw me as an exciting and innovative field, offering many opportunities to work in a R&D laboratory. And later, I got the opportunity to work at Arkopharma. Mm-hmm. It was I got hired at Arkopharma in the chemical analysis laboratory in 1991. It's a far time. And Arkopharma, I'm not so young, you know. Arkopharma is a pharmaceutical laboratory located in southeast of France. Pretty nice area. Arkopharma was founded in 1980 and has been the first company to manufacture and to release plant-based supplements in capsules with the pre-dosed forms. The phytotherapy market started to take off, and today our company is the market's leader in Europe. In 1991, I started to take part in the development of the dietary supplements. That was a brand new project, and it was very, very exciting. We brought out a wide variety of products: cereal bars, syrups, tablets, capsules, containing plant-based ingredients, vitamins, minerals, fatty acids, and I developed analytical methods for the quality assurance service, which is in charge of ensuring that finished products met the required standards. And besides, I ran stability studies on food supplements. So it's an exciting job.
Yeah, thanks for telling us about your background. It sounds like you've done a lot. And how did you first get interested in food science? Why did you decide to go to school for food science?
Because this industry at this time, this industry was promising a lot of opportunities in research and development, and financial resources too. I thought that it could be a very exciting job for an analyst.
And has it been exciting for you?
Yes. I'm a bit proud of my choice, and I'm proud too of my company.
Good, and I'm proud of my choice too. I think there's a lot of opportunities as a food science, and it opens a lot of different doors that you don't really expect. So as you started to work at Arkopharma and work in R&D, when did water activity become a part of your formulation process?
Yes, the water activity has been taken into account for a long time, but mostly as a marker of the microbiological quality. But before we started to use the vapor sorption analyzer, we didn't know much about the relationship between water activity and the chemical, physical stability in our products.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to focus on moisture content that we considered as a factor of degradation in the products, but it wasn't. But sometimes the degradation has not been observed despite an increased moisture content. So the concept of moisture content related to water activity has been clearer once we started to use the VSA, the vapor sorption analyzer. Then we realized that water activity and moisture content have to be taken into account together. And this understanding improved our formulation process and the predicting stability. It was very, very important to understand that.
So before you were using moisture sorption isotherms, you were running classic stability studies. What did that look like, and
Yes, yes.
how long did that take you?
About classic stability studies, yes. The purpose of the stability testing is to provide the evidence on how the quality of a substance or drug product varies with time, and the influence of temperature and humidity, oxygen, light. But in our case, temperature and humidity are the most degrading factors. A conventional stability study takes between 3-5 years. It's it's a bit lengthy. So the finished product is stored in normalized climatic conditions in the laboratory, long-term, intermediate, and accelerated conditions, and at regular time points. The required tests are carried out to ensure that the physical and chemical acceptance criteria are met. There's a difference between medication and food supplements, but because we have to prove to give the evidence of the quality, stability of food supplements, we must run the conventional stability study.
So you're using moisture sorption isotherms in addition to still doing some classic stability studies. Is that correct?
Yes.
And
Yes.
the benefit of
Yes.
the
Yes.
isotherm, if I'm not mistaken, is that although these classic studies can take a long time, 3 to 5 years, you can get a lot of insight very quickly by using that moisture sorption isotherm
Yes.
for things like stability or shelf
Yes.
life and packaging. Um, I also know that you are very interested in predicting the loss of active ingredients. Why is that interesting to your company, and what benefits does this
Yes, of
have
course.
for Arkopharma to know about your active ingredients?
So, as I said, the conventional stability study on medication is definitely required by the authorities for food supplements. The protocol is less conventional, but we must give the evidence of the stability. That's why we carry out the classic stability study. To predict the degradation, we I have to say that we have been collecting a huge number of analysis data from stability studies conducted for more 20 years. Sometimes this knowledge helped us to forecast the stability of a new formulation. Sometimes it doesn't. So the predictive stability is very useful to anticipate the loss of active ingredient in the formulation over time. This is predictive stability is part of the formulation process. So the test results of the predictive stability can lead to change the formulation. So you save time and money, of course. And therefore, we are more confident about the stability of the finished product, of the shelf life, and the required long-term stability study is likely to meet the acceptance criteria. So it's a big benefit for our company on time and on money, and to feel more confident about the stability of the formulation of the product.
And how would you say your predictions with moisture sorption isotherms, how do those predictions compare to your actual measurements? Do you see a lot of correlation there?
Yeah. So the prediction must be compared with the classic stability study. We start very recently the APS this predictive stability study. We have run accelerated predictive stability testing on active ingredients that we studied before in capsules. So we have already a lot of data. These active ingredients are known to be sensitive to temperature and humidity. For some of them, contained in a mixture powder in capsules, the prediction is a bit overestimated after a storage of 6 months at 40 degrees Celsius and 75% RH. That could be explained by the fact that at 40 degrees Celsius, the relative humidity is over the critical water activity we measured in the capsule beforehand. But the prediction is completely right after a storage of 12 months at 30 degrees Celsius and 75% RH. And that's hopeful. So it's encouraging, and we are going on improving the accuracy of the APS testing method for our products. And practice makes perfect.
Yes, that is definitely true. And you mentioned critical points for your products. What are those critical points? Are those just water activities where you lose your active ingredient, or are these also points where you have caking and clumping and some type of texture change? So what are those critical points for your company?
The most critical points for products are the caking and the change of color or odor. But the most difficult challenge to overcome is the hygroscopicity of the products, and because we use natural raw materials and sometimes plant extracts, and for example, plant extracts which contains a lot of carbohydrate are a problem, and because they are too much hygroscopic. And to overcome this problem, you can add excipients, natural excipients that can make the water activity lower in the mixture. And so we try several formulations and put the prototypes in climatic chambers, and so we can see we can select the best formulation. But we also use the software moisture analysis toolkit and the mixing ingredient to get the final isotherm of the different formulation, and it saves time and we can select the perfect fit formulation.
So you're using the DLP ingredient mixing tool, which essentially allows
Yes.
you to combine a bunch of different isotherms for different ingredients or different products, and then
Yes.
view
Yes.
your final isotherm and your predicted water activity. Is that correct? And that's helping you to speed up your R&D process?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. But of course, we have to record all the isotherms of each ingredient, and so we are building a sort of a type of library, and we are working on it, and it's a very interesting tool.
Yeah, building your own isotherm library is definitely a never-ending process, but it's very helpful when you have those
Yes.
isotherms for the things that you work with. What type of isotherms are you
Yes.
creating? Are you making DVS, dynamic vapor sorption isotherms, or are you creating DDI, dynamic dew point isotherms, or maybe a combination of both?
We ran both DDI and DVS isotherms because we work in close collaboration with the formulation scientist. We start first with the DDI isotherm, which is very useful for the formulation scientist, because the critical water activity is the first essential information that the formulation scientist needs at the first step of the development. And the DVS isotherm, in a way, it's more useful for the chemical analyst like us, and because the DVS isotherm helps me to calculate and to predict accurately the water intake during storage in a particular climatic condition over time, and it helps me to know to set the shelf life, the manufacturing and storage conditions, and it's very important. And also I can select the best packaging for the products.
Okay, great. So it sounds like the DDI is what you're using to get that critical point, and then DVS really comes into play for things like chemical stability or kinetics, and also looking at shelf life. So having both of them at your fingertips seems like it's been really useful for you and your team. Is that correct?
Yes, of course. We've been working with the firm for 1 year, in fact, constantly for 1 year.
And still going. So from here, let's move away from isotherms and from being so technical. I just want to hear what are your goals for the rest of this year? Do you have any things that you're trying to finish up in 2020 at your company that you're excited about?
For the next month.
I know, can you believe we're
There's so
almost
much.
done?
No, just there's so much to do for the next month. The food supplements market is very, very competitive and requires to be innovative. We're working on a lot of new projects and new raw materials, and it's very important for my team to upgrade its skill in predictive sustainability, and we also want to get. We're working hard on this topic.
And if somebody wants to learn more about Arkopharma, where can they go? What's the best way to learn about your company?
So first, Arkopharma manufactures and releases almost 300 health products in Europe and worldwide. You can visit our website, arkopharma.com, and discover our natural solutions in healthcare, herbal products, vitamins, minerals, royal jelly, and beauty, of course.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for your time today, Fabienne. We really appreciate it. One last question. Holiday season is coming up this
Thank
year.
You,
and do you have any plans for the holiday season? With everything going on, is there something special that you usually do with your family that you'll be doing this year?
We are looking forward to the 15th of December, and we'll know if we go on with the lockdown or no. So I don't have any plan, for holidays.
Yeah, me neither.
I hope it will be okay, but I'm not very sure about this.
Well, we're all in the same boat, Fabienne. So I'm right there with you.
Yes,
so.
yes.
Well, thank you again. We really appreciate this. I've really enjoyed learning about how you.
Thank you, Corey.
Yes, you're welcome, and
yes.
We will see you again. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Zachary Cartwright. This is Water in Food. Find this podcast on Apple iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.